Hey, Todd Walters, how are you? There's a famous historical figure. His name's John W. Gardner. He said a lot of things, but one of his famous quotes is that some people have greatness thrust upon them. Very few have excellence thrust upon them. They achieve it. They do not achieve it unwittingly or by doing what comes naturally, and they don't stumble into it in the course of amusing themselves. All excellence involves discipline and tenacity of purpose. So sometimes people have a difficult time just getting things going, a new project or some work or something you want to do with your business or your team to move forward. You look around, maybe you don't believe you possess the right assets or the right people in place. Look, sometimes people just need to do their very best even though they don't quite fit the job. Give an example, a great historical example of leading people to accomplish something great, but was outside of their job description, would be a leader by the name of Nehemiah and the story of rebuilding the walls around Jerusalem. You've probably heard that story. I want you to picture one of the world's biggest cities at the time, and the wall around the city is in complete shambles. What took many, many, many years to build was sitting there, it's just a pile of rubble. And rebuilding the wall, it just looked hopeless. But Nehemiah, great leader and visionary, he believed differently. First of all, he talked his employer, king, into letting him travel back to his home city that he'd been exiled from to go back and take on this project of rebuilding the wall. So that took some pretty good salesmanship, wouldn't you say? And then when he got there, he rallied the people who'd never seen this person before, Nehemiah. He rallied the people to stop what they were doing and get to work on rebuilding this wall. He rallied people to carry stones, frame doors, frame doorways, everything that needed to be done, including defending one another from attacks. So through the chapters of this Nehemiah story, a great historical figure and leader worth studying, we find that he was able to rally people to pitch in right where they were needed. Like they didn't have to ask HR department to fit them perfectly into their job. And they just kind of rolled up their sleeves and went to work rebuilding the wall around one of the great cities in that time. They never complained about it. They just worked. Perfume makers swung hammers, goldsmiths carried rocks. Everyone came together to accomplish one of the greatest feats in history. So it got me thinking, perhaps there are people around you that complain when their work doesn't perfectly match their skills. Well, look, you cannot let their attitude poison you and your vision for carrying out the great work that you believe needs to be done. So here's what you do. Roll up your sleeves and you do whatever it takes to get the job done. You'll win the trust and respect of your team, and you'll learn things about your business that you didn't even know, like calling back the leads, for example, or getting on the phone with a critical client that's ready to fire you for things that aren't going their way. Like when you lead by example, you set the standard for the work that needs to be done. And when people do more than they are paid to do, it's likely that they're going to get paid more for what they do. This is how you create excellence right where you are right now. Go serve big. Thank you.